Oh my goodness. Welcome to Ticket to Life. And this is my thank you gratitude episode. I have not had this podcast for even 3 full months. And I am listened to in so many places I never even thought it would be imaginable. Do I have millions of downloads, thousands? No. But it's just so amazing. And I want to thank you, the listener, for downloading my podcasts. I thought that this would just be a fun hobby, and it is something I could share with the world, my opinions. But I literally cannot thank all of you listeners. I have listeners listen to this. This is awesome. I have listeners in Australia, and no, I do have family in Australia. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law actually had Australian listeners before they started listening. I have listeners in the UK, Ireland, the Netherlands, Japan, Malaysia, Russia, and the USA. And I cannot thank you enough. This has been such a fun journey for me. I've had people ask me to do certain podcasts and talk about certain things because my opinion does count. Everyone's opinion does. But to some, it matters, and some could probably care less, and that's fine. I don't expect you. I am older, but I like to say my wisdom is growing each and every day. So thank you so much for listening to Ticket to Life. Where did this start? I wanted to do something fun, something different. I love people. People are fantastic. And I thought, well, when I was in my 40s, I'd written a book. I never tried to have it published, but I'd written it for myself. And these were my inner thoughts and things, the way I felt about life for myself and others. So I wrote this book, and I've had it just in papers, and stapled together the different chapters. And I thought, this is something I did want to share. But back in, 40 years, yes, I'm that old. No, I'm not. Back 20 years ago, I just wanted to share my thoughts. So it's fun to read this because I hadn't read it in a while. And this is what gave me the idea to do a podcast. Plus, I did have a friend who said, you should do a podcast. And I thought, I think I've thought about it, but I don't know. What would I talk about? And she said, all sorts of stuff. You always give good advice. You're a good listener. And she is one of my 3 a.m. friends. If you don't know what a 3 a.m. friend is, it is in my episode of Introvert, Extrovert, and Friends. 3 a.m. friend is someone you can depend on at 3 a.m. and call them, and they know that they can depend on you at 3 a.m. and call them. Anyway, so then I decided, why not? So I mentioned it to my family, and my family supports me no matter what I do. I could become a goat herder, and they'd say, yay, go do it. They're just always supportive of all my wonderful adventures I've had, and I've had plenty in my life. I've never really stuck to one job for a long time because that's just who I am. I like change. I do like change. It's hard for some, and it is hard for me on certain things, but change is good for me. So I always had a job where I was working with people, for people, doing for others. It's just who I am. I don't think I could have been, well, maybe if I found that niche. I did want to become a police officer when I was young, but instead I married one. So, hey, it worked out. I got police stories from my husband and my son. So it all worked out. But anyway, I just wanted to thank you so much because, as I have said, you are not alone in any situation. And it is just amazing to know people are listening to me around the world. And I thank you. Thank you so much. And spread the word. Don't hesitate to spread Ticket to Life with your friends and family. If there's an episode that just gets to you, send me an email. Ticket to Life 022 at gmail.com. Don't hesitate if you're curious about my life or you'd like for me to talk about something that you've done. If you want to share your story and you send me an email and say, hey, I have a story to tell you, I will, if it can help someone, if it can make someone laugh, I'm all for it. Let's do it. Again, life is too short. But again, thank you. Thank you so much, all of you who have spent time listening to me. Less than 3 months, I would have never even dreamed I would have people around the world listening to me. What a blessing. So this is just a quick blip to say thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. And yes, I feel as though I am your friend. I don't know you, but I'm hoping I'm helping and making, again, people laugh, helping people think that it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have bad marriages. It's okay to be lonely. But guess what? You aren't alone. There's always someone with the same situation, and hopefully you can find someone. If I can't help you, and no, I'm not a therapist, as I always say, I'm not a life coach, I'm not blah, 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 blah. But thank you again. Thanks for listening. And to all of you in Australia, the UK, Ireland, Netherlands, Japan, Malaysia, Russia, and the good old US of A, thank you, thank you, thank you for listening. And I will talk to you next week. Have a great weekend and go find your blessings, because I found mine. It's my listeners. Thanks.